Is this really the last video collab for us? Hi ladies, and welcome back to the final edition collab of our My Quarantine Kitchen. It's done. 5 weeks we've been sharing how we've been managing our kitchens and feeding our families during our shelter in place, during this pandemic, whatever you want to call it, a quarantine. That's what we've been sharing, and it's come to an end. But don't forget, next Monday night over on Katie the Ironheart Mama's channel, we're gonna have an explosion of gifts to celebrate the end of this quarantine kitchen conversations. It has been so much fun getting together with you ladies and talking and sharing how we've been managing in our kitchens, and then doing the live chats with Katie has been awesome. So make sure you check out the playlist to see all who is participating this week in this collab for the last week. There's also a link to the video for our last live conversations that we're gonna have with Katie over on her channel. So check out that so that you are ready for it. Set a reminder so that you are prepared for next week Monday. I believe it's June 8th at 8 p.m. Central. If you're on the Eastern Coast, that's 9. If you're on the Pacific Coast with me, it's 6 o'clock. So I'm so excited. There's gonna be so many gifts that everyone's gonna win something probably, okay? So you've got to be there. It's gonna be so much fun and a huge blessing. It's amazing how these ladies have gotten together and said, yes, I'll give away this, I'll give away this, I'll give away this. So many awesome things. Okay, with all that said, today, for my last video, God gave me something a couple weeks ago, and I was gonna share it a couple weeks ago, and I said, no, I said, God, that's gonna be the best thing to end the quarantine kitchen with, because I'm gonna share with you what God has given me to learn through this pandemic, through this shelter in place, through being without certain foods in the beginning, and then them slowly coming back in the kitchens, and you know, in the grocery stores, bringing them back into our kitchens. And I do realize that not everybody's experienced the same food shortages or limits to different foods. Not everybody has the same budget, okay? You have to keep in mind that not everybody has, you know, $200-300 to spend on their groceries each week, all right? We are a family of 9, and I guarantee you I spend less on groceries than some people out there with 4 or 5 people. I guarantee you that I do. And I'm in expensive Californiaville. So why does Claire talk about God in food in her kitchen so much? Let me give you a really super quick background, because I'm sure a lot of you don't know where we've come from. I am from New York. My husband is from the Bay Area here in California. We met at Bible college. We were set up by some awesome friends. So we got married, we had children, we came out here, we lived here for a couple years, then we moved back to New York, where my husband finished Bible college at our church's Bible college, and then we just stayed there and we worked in the churches, you know, Sunday school teachers, bus routes, all different sorts of ministries and things like that. And we've grown spiritually, different things like that. You know, God's thrown wrenches in our walk, and we learned through so much. But through it all, God called my husband to preach and to start a church back here in California. I did not like my experience here in California. I did not want to come back. So I said no for like, what, 14 years I think it was? Can you believe that? The things that happened to us in New York, I get it now, why they all happened. It's because I refused to follow what God wanted us to do. I had such a bad experience. I didn't want to come back, and I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be around things. I just did not want to remember those 2 years again. I did not like living here. And so I did not want to come back. So God changed my heart. I read a book written by Elizabeth Elliot. And I'm like, if they can go to the jungles in Ecuador in the 50s where there's no cell phones, no computers, no electronics and things, no phones that they can just call up mom and dad or video phone them. They didn't have Zoom. They didn't have YouTube. They didn't have anything. They had like those radios, you know, that's how they communicated. If they can do that, and they died doing it, he did, you know, why can't I just go to California in this day and age? So God changed my heart and we went. We left in October of 2015, and we moved and said, you know, everything happened in 6 weeks. And the blessing of all that is that God worked it all out. He provided the money for us to move. He provided money for us to live while we moved, you know, food, hotels and everything. He provided money to pay for our first month's rent, security deposit, all that stuff. He found us a place to live. My in-laws live here, so they found us a place to live, a home that has been the biggest place we've ever lived. We are a family of 9. We've lived in teeny tiny 2-bedroom apartments. God gave us a 4-bedroom house here to rent and to live in with just the things that we need. It's amazing when you're in the will of God, what he does for you. compared to when you're not. So it has been blessing upon blessing upon blessing upon blessing upon blessing since we've lived here. My husband started our church from scratch. We did not take over a church. We started the church. We knocked doors and said, we're starting a new church next month. Why don't you come visit? It's still small. We just celebrated 4 years, like 2 weeks after this whole pandemic started. So we really haven't been able to celebrate, and because of the way things are, we still can't celebrate because you're not allowed to even shake hands and, all that crazy stuff. Anyway, I'm not even going to go there about the pandemic. Okay, there I said it. So what I want to share with you today is what I've learned. Okay, so that is why I talk so much about God. I am a pastor's wife. My husband is the pastor of our church. God is first and foremost the most important thing in our life. If it weren't for him, we wouldn't be where we are. Okay, so there we go. So look at this, little tiny notes in church one Sunday. It came to me. I'm like, pandemic teachings. All right, what I've learned is not to limit God. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I have a bad knee. Oh, I can't do that. I have asthma. Oh, I can't do that. I don't have enough money. Oh, I can't do that because I'm too busy. Oh, I can't do that because it's nap time. Oh, I can't do that. Oh God, I'll never have a house big enough. Oh, I'll never have my own bathroom. God will never give me this. Oh, I'll never have my own car. I'll always have this big old van. I'm limiting God by saying that I can't, or I'll never. I'm limiting God. Think about all the times that you've said you couldn't do something or you can't do something. You're limiting God. And what I've learned through this pandemic, in my kitchen, in my spiritual life, with my family, is not to limit God. It's like second guessing him. It's like God can give you whatever it is you need, whether it's a car, a home, heal an ill loved one, or something as small as a new purse or a new pair of shoes, or maybe there's a t-shirt that you've been wanting, or an outfit, or a certain brand of something from Trim Healthy Mama even. I mean, I haven't been able to really afford a lot of the Trim Healthy Mama stuff, but you know what, I keep saying I can't afford it. Just because I have like maybe $100 a week for groceries one week, or $60 a week the next week, or maybe $150 the next week, I'm limiting God by going, oh, I can't afford that. Because what do? God stretches that money and we have food every week. We've never gone hungry. Never. We had some rough times back in New York, and God provided. God gave us friends that cared about us and provided that food for us. I'm not going to limit God. Don't limit God in your kitchen. This has been all about foods in your kitchen and the blessings of God, and how he's making food stretch, how he's making you be creative in the kitchen. I've gotten creative in the kitchen. God has taught our family lessons on food, to be thankful for different foods. I get criticism for the way I react to the free lunches, the way I talk about different flours, the way I mentioned this, that, or the other thing. I've gotten criticism. It's been minor. I just go, you know what? So be it. You brush it off, type of thing, But I have a verse that goes along with this. I'm not going to limit God in anything, because I've learned not to limit God. Philippians, okay? It's from Paul. Philippians chapter 4, verse 19. But my God shall supply all your need according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus. I don't need a big, huge kitchen with all the trimmings. I don't need a full stocked pantry. I don't need a brand new electric car. I would love a Leaf. I really would. That's my dream car right now, an electric car, because I'm tired of going to the gas station. I'm tired of paying all those high taxes and gas. Electricity's kind of cheap out here, Well, it's a cheaper than gas thing. But you know what? If I limit God, it might be 10 years before I get one. It's not reality, okay? I know. But just think about it. If it's something like that, maybe it's like collagen from Trim Healthy Mama. God had you ladies use my affiliate link to purchase things from Trim Healthy Mama, so that I can buy things from Trim Healthy Mama. Same with Amazon. Use my Amazon links. I get a small percentage, and I get a gift card to purchase the things. And I'm not buying frivolous things. I'm buying collagen, Baobab. I'm buying those types of things with these. I bought school stuff. I bought fun schooling journals with the affiliate money from Amazon. Do you see how it all works? Do you see how God is making it all work? He's provided food. He's provided the flour. I've told you before about the flour and the yeast. I've told you about that. That was all of God. I have learned not to limit God. I have learned not to limit God. I say I can't afford it, but who can afford it? God can afford it. God can provide the money for the things that you need. College education, your kids are going off to school. God, how am I going to send them to college? God can do it. God can do it. How am I going to pay my rent through this? I don't have a job. I'm not working. God can do it. God can do anything but fail. Who can do anything? Nobody but my Lord and Master. Okay, God can do it. So ladies, if you take anything out of this video, anything out of this collaboration, don't limit your God. Don't limit him. He can buy the things that are too expensive for you. He can provide a friend to send them to you. I've had friends send me things. You ladies, you awesome ladies, have sent me protein powder. You've sent me MCT oil. You've sent me dog food for the dog. Some of you ladies, Michelle and Amy, some of you ladies are so amazing how you want to bless us. And I just, praying for me, you do that for me. I mean, we know each other through here, but you know, I so appreciate those prayers, and I am not going to limit God anymore. I have learned not to limit him, and I am not going to say I can't afford it or it's too expensive. Now, it might come out because I'm not thinking. I might be rambling in a video, and it might come out, and it might say, oh, I can't afford that, or something like that. But you know what? God can afford it. God owns the cattle on, you know, that song, who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. Here I am singing, turning this into a musical. But ladies, don't limit God, because I have learned not to. He has provided so much for our family. We're not rich. We're not wealthy. You know, we've been living paycheck to paycheck, okay? But God has provided everything that we've needed. It's amazing when you stop trying to do it yourself and you include God in it, how he does it. I'm going to read that verse one more time. Philippians chapter 4, verse 19. But my God shall supply all your need according to his riches and glory. You know, God might not want me to have that leaf just yet. And I totally get it. I got no place to go right now. I can't take my kids anywhere. We got kicked off the beach. We're going to try again this week, though. So don't limit God, ladies. Remember that. And thank you again. And be a blessing, everyone. Bye.